that if I care about something, if I'm really passionate about that thing, then I'm going to invest the time, energy, and resources in it. I'm not just going to assume that it's going to be an organic thing that takes place. You see, at this point in the discussion, there are certain things that are organic about life. I don't want to say that, but a lot of times when it comes to relationships and we think it's going to happen organically, in that case, organic becomes synonymous with being lazy. I'm not going to put the energy and effort into the relationship. I'm not going to study what could make this work. I just think it's going to happen. It's the difference between driving a go-kart and driving a Cadillac. You see, I love when my children were young and we started taking them to the go-kart track for the first time. There's not a lot to learn when you're driving a go-kart. I put my kids out there at 10, 11 years old. I said, here's the deal, kids. The right pedal is the gas pedal. The left pedal is the brake pedal. Here's the steering wheel. There's the track. Go. And they went out there, and they were a little bit scared at first, and they're trying to figure out, aren't there some rules along the way? And I said, yeah, as a responsible dad, I have to tell you this. You're not supposed to hit the other cars. But as an irresponsible dad, I'll tell you this, when it happens, it's the best part of go-kart racing, is when you do that. Because it's really pretty safe out there. But when I gave those same children their driving lessons, it worked out like this. I said, we're going to begin by giving you a book, and you're going to study that book and learn the rules of the road so you can go take a test to get your permit. And once you get your permit, then we're going to go out and we're going to begin to learn how to drive, and we're going to begin by driving in a parking lot of a college that's closed down for the weekend where you can't really do a whole lot of damage. And let's learn how the car operates and how it runs and get comfortable behind the wheel. And after a couple of weeks of doing that, we're going to venture out into the road a little bit, into the side roads, going back to our house. And then from there, eventually we'll go onto a road that has some traffic, and then into a major thoroughfare, and then eventually onto the highway. And for any parent who's been there, as you take your teenage child on the highway for the first time, here's our goal as parents, is on the outside to pretend everything's cool. But on the inside, we're like holding on, saying, oh, dear God, save me right now. Like that's literally our response. But we've gone through a process in our life to say, this matters. And this might not be safe. And so I'm not just going to organically trust that you know how to operate a motor vehicle. But I'm going to teach you, here's how this thing works. And yet for most of us, we jump into relationships today like we're driving a go-kart and not like we're driving a Cadillac.